In this video, we look at break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is carried out to answer questions such as how many products should we sell to cover all costs, and at what point do we make profit? Now let's take a simple scenario here. We have a product we're selling, assuming that we're selling a single product, and then the product's selling price is $20 per unit, and variable cost is $5 per unit, and then fixed cost is $20,000 per year. So the calculation to find the break-even unit, you need to find the point at which the total cost is equal to the total revenue. So that could be found out by this simple formula. So we take the fixed cost and divide it by the contribution margin, so which is unit price minus variable cost per unit. So in this case, we have 20,000 as a fixed cost. So we take the contribution margin, which is $15, and that'll give us 1,333 units to break even. Now, to find the break-even point in dollars, you simply take this and multiply it by unit price. So 1,333 times unit price is $20. So that should give us 26,666,000 to break even. So you need to make a revenue of 26,667 to break even. So if you plot this in a graph, so we have the number of units, so that we are increasing the number of units here, and then the revenue increases, and then fixed cost remains the same. So you see this line over here, the orange line is a fixed cost, and then the total cost increases, which is total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. The variable cost would be increasing as you increase the number of production, number of units being produced. So that's going to increase the total cost. So when you do not produce anything, the total cost is 20,000, because that is the fixed cost, which regardless you're going to have it. But as you start producing units, increase the number of production, so which we assume is related to the units being sold, you can see that the total cost goes up, and at one point the total cost intersects the total revenue. So at that point the total cost is equal to total revenue. So this point is when you have sold 1,333 units, or you have a revenue of 26,667,000. So this is for a single product. So when you're calculating the break-even point for a single product, it's very straightforward. You simply apply the formula and then divide the fixed cost by the contribution margin, and then you should get the units. Multiply that by unit price, you should get the BEP in dollars. So it's pretty easy to find out. Now, when there are more than one product, it becomes a little more complex. So in this scenario, we are looking at more than one product. So we have product A, B, and C. Product A unit price is 20, B's unit price is 25, and 35 for C. Variable cost is different as well. So 5 for A, 7 for B, and 10 for C. And then each one of them has different amount of sales. And we also have a fixed cost of 150,000 per year. So when you're calculating the break-even point, so we can use this formula where we take the fixed cost, which is 150,000, and then we divide it by weighted contribution. Okay, the sum of all the weighted contribution here. So that gives us 0.728. So to calculate this, what we're doing here is that we are taking the unit price and then the variable cost, and we are finding the contribution margin ratio, which is 1 minus variable cost divided by price. So that gives us contribution margin ratio for each one of the item here. And then we also have the sales forecast and the sales forecast per annum or per year. So from this, we can find the sales percentage. So how much sales we have, or in terms of revenue, what percentage of revenue is each item contributing. So 31% of the revenue is from item A, and then 33% of the revenue is from item C. So to find the weighted contribution, we simply multiply the weighted contribution margin ratio by percent sale to find the weighted contribution. And then we sum them together to find the overall weighted contribution, sum of weighted contribution, and then we're going to divide 150,000, which is the fixed cost, by sum of all of these weighted contribution. So that gives us a break-even point in dollars, which is $206,168.86 to break even. Now, once this is calculated, it becomes easy for us to break that down into for each item. Now, if you want to find the break-even point dollars for each item, so how many units you need to sell in A, it's pretty straightforward. So what we do here is that we take this, the amount of revenue that we need to make, and then we multiply it by percentage sales. So we know that we know our sales forecast. So based on that, we have arrived at this sales percentage. So simply multiply the break-even point in dollars by 31% to get the break-even dollars point dollars for each of the item. So yeah, so this is multiplied by the $206,000 or dollars times the percent sale will give you the break-even point for item A. So similarly, you can calculate the for item C, and then to find in units, you take this dollar amount and then divide it by the unit price. So that should give you the break-even point in units for each item. Now, similarly, you can break it down further. Now, this is for a year. So because our fixed cost is per year, so if you want to break this down further to a day or a month, it's a matter of dividing this by, now if assuming that the company does business for 6 days a week, which gives us 312 days in total. So we can divide this dollar amount by 312 to find out how much we need to make from item A on a daily basis to break even. And then we can further divide, find the units we need to sell per day by taking this and dividing by unit price. So that will give us number of items, item A we need to sell on a daily basis to break even, number of item B we need to sell on a daily basis, and number of item C we need to sell on a daily basis.